Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful and maybe one of the most underrated tools in your language toolkit, the adverb. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Grammar rules, a little boring, right? But trust me, by the end of this, you're going to see adverbs as a secret weapon for making your language sharper, more vivid, and way more effective.
So, let's kick things off on the football pitch. Picture this scene. The sentence is simple, totally factual. Rossi has the ball. Okay, it's clear, it tells us what's happening, but it's kind of flat, isn't it? It's like a blank canvas just waiting for some color.
Now, just watch what happens when we add one single word. Rossi has the ball and is running quickly down the pitch. Boom, all of a sudden you can feel the energy, right? You can see the speed, you feel the urgency. That one little word, quickly, completely transforms the image in your mind.
And the story continues. He has fallen unexpectedly. Whoa, the drama just went up a notch. It wasn't just a fall, it was a total shock. It makes you wonder, right? Was he fouled? Did he just trip? This single adverb adds a layer of suspense and completely changes where the story is going.
And you know, adverbs don't just describe action. Check this out. Parker is playing incredibly well. Here, the adverb incredibly isn't really describing the action. It's amplifying another descriptive word, well. It takes it from just good to amazing. So in just a few seconds, we've seen adverbs add speed, drama, and intensity. Pretty cool, huh?
All right, so we've seen their power in action. Now let's get down to the basics and figure out what these amazing little words actually are.
So here's the deal. An adverb is basically a describing word. But here's the key difference. An adjective describes a thing, a noun, while an adverb describes an action, which is a verb, or even another description, like an adjective or another adverb. Think of it as adding color and detail to all the movement and qualities in your sentences.
Okay, this right here, this is the ultimate cheat code for spotting adverbs. They almost always answer one of four key questions. How? Patiently. Where? In the city. When? Finally. And how often? Rarely. If a word is answering one of those questions, you're almost certainly looking at an adverb.
So we know what they are. Great. Now, how do we make them? Let's talk about how to actually craft these tools for our own language toolkit.
Well, the most common way is beautifully simple. It's like a recipe. You just take an adjective, say sad or safe, you add ly to the end, and bam, you've got yourself an adverb. Sadly, safely. It really is the go-to formula.
But of course, English loves to have its little exceptions. So here are a couple of pro tips to keep in your back pocket. If an adjective ends in y, like angry, you just change that y to an I before adding ly, so you get angrily. And if it ends in able or ible, like miserable, you just swap out that final e for a y, miserably. Easy enough.
And this is a really common trap. What do you do with words that are already adjectives ending in ly? Like friendly or lively. You can't say friendlily. It just sounds wrong. The solution is super simple. You just use a phrase instead. So you'd say someone acted in a friendly manner. Problem solved.
All right, time to level up. Let's tackle some of the pairs that trip people up all the time. Think of these as the specialist tools in your kit. They require a little more precision to use correctly.
First up, the all-time classic, good versus well. The rule is actually really simple. Good is an adjective, so it describes a noun. It was a good concert. Well is the adverb, so it describes a verb. The musicians played well. See? You do something well, but something is good. Oh, this one is a big one, because these two words mean completely different things. Hard means you're using a lot of effort. She works hard. But hardly means almost not at all. There was hardly anyone in the cinema. So be careful. If you tell your boss you're hardly working, you're not saying what you think you're saying.
And here's another tricky pair. Late is pretty straightforward. It means you're not on time. I got home late. But lately just means recently. Like, I haven't read any good books lately. They both have to do with time, but in totally different ways.
Okay, so we've defined them, we've made them, and we've navigated the tricky pairs. Now for the final piece of the puzzle. Where do we actually put these things in a sentence?
The good news is, you've got a lot of flexibility here. The most common place is at the end of the sentence. He packed his suitcase carefully. You can also put it in the middle, usually right before the verb. He carefully packed his suitcase. Or if you want to add some emphasis, you can stick it right at the front. Carefully, he packed his suitcase.
But there is one crucial rule to remember. Never, ever split up a verb and its direct object. You'd never say, he packed carefully his suitcase. It just sounds clunky.
So what happens if you want to use a bunch of adverbs at once? Well, there's a standard, natural-sounding order to follow. It goes like this. First, how it happened. Second, where it happened. And third, when it happened. So you might say, the meeting happened unexpectedly, that's how. In the town hall, that's where. Last Tuesday, that's when. How, where, when. It just flows perfectly.
So let's bring it all home and see how these tools can really, truly amplify your language.
All right, pop quiz. Take a look at this sentence. The boy behaved bad/badly on the school trip. Which one is it? Is it bad or badly? Think about it. Are we describing the boy himself, or are we describing how he behaved?
And the answer is badly. Of course it is. Why? Because the word is describing the verb, behaved. How did he behave? He behaved badly. We need that adverb. Nicely done.
And there you have it, your adverb toolkit, all wrapped up. Just remember these key things. They add detail by answering how, where, when, or how often. Most of them are made with ly, but you gotta watch out for those tricky pairs. And if you're using more than one, just remember the golden order. How, where, when.
So I'll leave you with this question. How are you going to use adverbs deliberately to make your own language more powerful starting today? Really think about it. A few carefully chosen words can completely change your entire message. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.